Hey guys, Andrew here. Today I've got a lot of things to talk about for this Jeep update right here, so let's get into it. So, almost a month ago, I had gotten a check engine light. At the time I was leaving the Twin Brook metro station as I was on Twin Brook Parkway, crossing over the bridge, and until then the light came on the dash, that is the check engine light, and so confused, didn't know what exactly was happening. I got to my apartment in one piece, and then I checked the code, and this code from the check engine light came out to be P06DD, which meant engine oil pressure control circuit was stuck off. This meant that the engine oil pump was stuck in low pressure mode, and some of the possibilities regarding this oil pressure being stuck off was either there was a faulty oil pressure sensor, or there was some damage in the wiring harness, or there was a failing oil pump or solenoid, or something like that. And I notified my mother. She took the Jeep into the dealer about a week later after I messaged her, and the folks at the Jeep place did not start the repairs regarding this check engine light procedure for the oil pressure until on the Wednesday afterward. And I had a suspicion that there could have been an engine rebuild following the check engine light, and from my reaction, from my fear of a possible engine rebuild, I told myself, well, I guess it's time to kiss the Jeep goodbye, but fortunately that was not true at all. Turns out the Jeep needed a new engine oil cooler, and not just an entire engine rebuild of some kind, and somebody's going across the bridge on their bike. Yeah, so that literally saved me from kissing the Jeep goodbye. And then on a day after, my mother picked up the Jeep from the dealer, and all was good. Jeep is living its life happily after surviving a brutal winter storm that took place between January and February. So, now that the Jeep is back in my primary use of transportation, if we go over to the back, of course the Jeep needs a bath. Probably going to take it for a car wash after this video is made. You'll notice that there is a hidden camera on the top part of the spare tire right there. Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is? Let's go inside and find out, shall we? The inside needs to be cleaned as well. There's also a little microphone that is on the top part above the rearview mirror. I know it's a little hard to see because you have the black background and then the outside and such. Go ahead and turn that off. But the reason you see a backup camera within the spare tire, as well as a microphone up there, that is because the Jeep now has this. That's right, we are now in the 2020s era with a brand spanking new Sony XAV-AX6000 aftermarket car radio. Following the failure of my so-called aftermarket antenna, knowing that the signal boost turned out to be a failure, I ended up settling with this aftermarket radio right here. You can see that there's a clock in the center part, as well as another clock on the top right corner. This is basically the home screen, and you can browse through some of these various options, such as AM, FM radio, as such. You have your volume control on the bottom part, and you can adjust the various stations with these two buttons, or you can tap on the screen like so. You also have your voice button, which I assume is from the microphone. And if you press the home button, it takes you back to the main screen. If you click on vehicle info, you can check your battery voltometer and your engine status, your tire pressure, and whether a door is open, just so that it's not just showing up on the gauges the whole time. In fact, I want to see if the tailgate door... Okay, so I have the door open. Does it show up on the radio itself? Yes, it does! If the camera will focus. There it is. And yes, the door and the gate wardings alternate within the tachometer. So that's pretty cool. Shut that. And also as a result, if you look at this plug right here, this is normally meant for the emissions test. I'm not sure what the protocol would look like if the Jeep were to go for another emissions test in January of 2027. I know that the previous emissions test was good, but we'll have to see how this part goes. Because I feel like this part will have to be unplugged, and then the emissions would have to be plugged in to that port for the emissions to commence. And so all doors are shut, all is good. Let's see, I think you can check your tire alert, tire alert on, I like that. Also have your malfunction alert, doors alert, driver position. Let's see what else is there, shall we? Let's see, you have Bluetooth, and of course my phone is not doing good on charge. I have to charge it up, so I won't be able to go in depth on that, unfortunately. This is a look at the rear camera, in case if I want to take a look at the brushes or the arm while I'm inside a car wash, just so I don't have to look back the whole time or look in the rearview mirror. And yes, the rear backup camera does turn on as you put the shifter in reverse. The guidance lines do not adjust as you turn the steering wheel. Let's see, I think this trapezoid... Okay, so if you press this trapezoid right here, this puts up even more guidance lines, at least from my visual. And then the rear backup camera turns off. Let's see, you got settings, device connection, that's my brother's phone, sound, I'm not going to go too much into that. Customize, you can have your custom buttons, clock display, wallpaper select, and with the browse button, I wonder, we'll get to that in a minute, I wonder if you can put a custom wallpaper from your phone, but I feel like I would have to keep the phone connected to the Jeep at all times. Maybe I'll save it for another day. And then you have your applications, system, won't go too deep into any of those settings, but if we take a look at all apps, you have your USB, HDMI, devices, that's the same thing as Bluetooth, I think. As I said before, USB and HDMI, we'll go over those in just a minute. You have your phone for Bluetooth, as the original radio did not include Bluetooth at the time. You have your gauges, such as your speedometer, your tachometer in the middle, you have your intake temperature on the top right, and then your fuel gauge on the bottom right. Oh, and there goes a train. Bound for the Shady Grove Industrial Center. Let's see, go over here. You have your, I think that's a trip computer or something. Not too sure what that is, honestly. But you can select the gauges. Pretty sure you can customize any of those gauges as such. English to metric, fuel economy. Won't go too deep into those either. But that is pretty neat to look at. And then you have Sirius XM. I don't basically use any of that. But having mentioned USB and HDMI, as a result of the radio, I got more charging ports. That's right. Instead of just a basic car power outlet right here, as a result, I also got this right here, an additional USB port for Type C, I believe, and then you have HDMI above that. So yeah, even though I was a bit sad to see the stock radio go, this aftermarket radio turned out to be a pretty big success, in my humble opinion. And who knows, maybe I'll include a additional add-on, like, I don't know, a cheap speedometer plus clock, one of those cheap devices you can get from Amazon that you can plug into your carport. May end up having to think about it, whether it's going to be a good pickup, I don't know. But anyway, I have got to continue running errands. I just wanted to showcase this aftermarket radio right here, and let me know your thoughts about it in the comments down below. Thank you guys, as always, for watching, and I guess I'll see you in the next video.